An overview of the reforms and
Mr.
the
Oyedlele.
bills that were sent to the National Assembly, if you can hear me. So there are 4 bills that were sent to the National Assembly. The Nigerian Tax Administration Bill, the Nigerian Tax Bill, as well as the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and the fourth one is the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. So the essence of these reforms are really to simplify the tax system in Nigeria, to make it easier for people to pay tax, and to remove the burden of tax from the poorest people, like people who earn minimum wage, so we can exempt them from paying taxes. For small businesses also to be exempted from paying taxes, so they can at least have the space to be able to grow their businesses. And even for large businesses to reduce their corporate income tax rate from about 30% to around 25%, and to harmonize the various taxes they are having to pay. Also for the ordinary Nigerian to remove the burden of VAT from the things they consume, food, health, education. But I know there has been some controversies around VAT distribution formula. And I think it's mostly due to misunderstanding of what is being proposed. Section 22 of the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill contains the intention of what is being proposed. Today, VAT is remitted where companies' headquarters are based, which is mostly Lagos for many of the companies. But consumption of those goods and services are done across Nigeria. Soft drinks, airtime, cement for building houses, all those things are consumed across Nigeria, but the head offices are based in Lagos, so they remit in Lagos, and Lagos State takes the credit for the derivation, which we consider not to be fair. We think that it's better to attribute the derivation to the state where those consumptions take place, and on that basis we can then say every state should take about 60% of what is derived from their location, and the balance of 40% can then be shared based on equality of states as well as population. So we think that this is the best way for us to go, but we do take into account the feedback we have received from the governors as well as from other stakeholders, and we're currently engaging and consulting with them, because at the end of the day I think it's going to be in the interest of everyone to have the outcome that works for everyone, rather than having to withdraw the bills. We have more than 200 reform proposals in those bills. I do not think we should, because of one clause that we can discuss and agree on what should be, then withdraw all the bills.
So to demystify all this for especially the small business owner and the man on the street, the president has acknowledged that times are hard, and he has repeatedly said that these reforms will not make things worse. How so?
Correct. So Mr. President recognizes that things are hard because of the various economic reforms, particularly subsidy removal and naira flotation. We know there's high inflation, cost of living, and many Nigerians are struggling. So it is the recognition of these that we took into account in our reform proposals. And by the way, the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee is made up of eminent Nigerians from across Nigeria. All the 6 geopolitical zones are represented. We have more than 20 government institutions, private sector, civil society are represented. Men, women, Christian, Muslim, everybody of faith, including young people. We have more than 40 undergraduates from 22 universities across Nigeria represented. And we use a lot of data for what we do. So the intention is to relieve the poorest people, the masses, of the tax burden that they currently face, and also for small businesses. Many of us will know that today small businesses pay more than 10, 20 taxes, from signage to TV and radio license to haulage, all manner of taxes, and this makes life very difficult for them. And whatever they are selling, the prices have to then go up, and then the vulnerable citizens cannot afford those basic necessities. So we have been very intentional in implementing the directive of Mr. President to make sure that when we are done with these reforms, we should be able to reduce, if not totally eliminate, the burden on the masses, low-income earners, vulnerable population, and even for large businesses, they should also see a relief in their tax burden. I think the only set of Nigerians that will have to pay a little bit more are the high net worth individuals, like those who earn like 5 million, 10 million naira a month. And those people are not many in Nigeria. It's probably about 1-2% of Nigerian population that can boast of that level of income. Those are the people that will pay a little bit more. Other than that, everybody else will see a significant drop in their tax burden, and I think it's something that we all need to embrace.
Good for many Nigerians. I've been speaking with the chairman, Presidential Committee on Tax Reforms, Mr. Taiwo Oyedlele, demystifying and simplifying tax administration and what small businesses and the common man can expect. Thank you for joining us, sir.